Hello everyone and welcome to another BlockChyp Lab series video. In today's video we're going to talk about BlockChyp's new integration with the Vend point of sale system. And it's fairly simple, and we've modified BlockChyp in a couple of places just to make it that much easier to do pairing and to avoid misconfiguration. So I'll show you how that works. First we'll start with Vend. We have a simple test account set up with Vend. If you want to integrate BlockChyp with Vend, the first thing you need to do is set up a payment type, and we've done that here. And see, there's BlockChyp as a payment type. Well, you could call this whatever you like. It wouldn't offend us if you call it something other than BlockChyp. But the key part is down here where it says Gateway. So right now I'm running this off of my local development workstation. But in production, you would change this to api.blockchyp.com. And when we release this next week, we'll reflect that in the documentation. So you don't need to remember that. So that's really all you have to do over on the Vend side, other than make sure you have some registers. So I've got 3 registers set up. In BlockChyp, you're going to want to make sure that when you activate the terminal, that the terminal's name matches the register name in Vend. Although we've made some modifications to the activation screen when the Vend integration is active to make that kind of a hard thing to screw up. You really don't need to remember this stuff. So let's go over to the BlockChyp side. If your merchant account has Vend enabled, and this would be basically a reflection of the partner relationship. So if this merchant is under a partner that supports Vend, then you would see this new option here called Vend Integration. And then all you have to do is click Connect to Vend, and this will take you through the OAuth workflow for Vend. And that's it. So now Vend and BlockChyp are synced. Now what BlockChyp did under the hood after this happened is it went and used the Vend API to pull down a list of registers. So now we know what all the registers in Vend are. So now if I will go back to my dashboard and I want to activate a terminal, you can see instead of having a place to just type in a terminal name, I now instead have a list of register names configured in Vend. And this is really just to prevent accidental misconfiguration. So because the way this works is the names have to match, so we just make it impossible for them not to. That's basically our approach. So I'll do pause 1. I'll click touch to activate on the terminal, and we'll let it generate an activation code for us. Should just take a few seconds here. There it is, 5D MG-M6. You'll notice also that that activation screen, unlike normal BlockChyp activation screens, did not have a Cloud Relay option. And now you see here that Cloud Relay has been turned on. And this is basically because the way that an integration with Vend works is that it lives inside of an iframe, so it's web-based. And so, accessing SSL over a local network or all that stuff requires some custom browser configuration. So we just go ahead and always do Cloud Relay by default with Vend. And if you're not familiar with what that is, the normal mode in BlockChyp is that the point of sale system communicates over the local private network with the terminal. Since that doesn't work in a browser-based configuration, because of the need to install custom SSL root certificates, we also have the option to relay a request for a terminal through the cloud, so that can go over the normal security infrastructure. So if I click pause 1, you can see it is enabled, it's online, and ready to go. So let's do a couple of test transactions. The way we do that is we go over to the sell screen on Vend, and we'll just ring up a simple item like I've got an old transaction here from before. I'll discard that. Let's do sunglasses, and I'll pick out. Terminal should wake up momentarily once I click BlockChyp. There it is. I'll just do a quick contactless transaction, and this one wants a signature. I'll go ahead and do that, and it's been approved. And then you can see some of the metadata about the transaction is here on the receipt. Let's do an Apple Pay transaction just to kind of show how that works. So I'll go ahead and hit pay, hit BlockChyp. I'll enter my code off the screen here, and I'll use my phone, and you can see that one worked as well. And then that shows up as a contactless MX transaction. All right, let's do another transaction. This time we'll try to show how a refund works, but we'll ring up something else first. So we'll do sunglasses. This time I'm going to use a MagStripe Union Pay card just to show how that works. It's probably going to want a signature. It does. Very good. So we're done there. And then there's the receipt. I'm not going to print it. Now if I go back to sales history, Let's see. There's the transaction that we just rang up. So I'm going to go ahead and do return items. It's going to open this up here. Okay, now I'm going to try to refund the transaction. So I'll click refund here. And I'll click BlockChyp. The terminal will wake up. I will swipe a card. And I'll sign. And there you go. The refund's been completed. So that's essentially it. I think we'll probably do a few tweaks to this before we release it, but that's essentially how the Vend integration works. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time on the lab series.